Hey, what's going on, everybody? Vaporlight here, and I'm up and about to give you guys an update about the 1.12 patch that just dropped for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I'm going to switch over to my different screen here and get to the update page. So a lot of things happened within this update. So some of the biggest summaries, a lot of adjustments came to multiplayer, but I'm primarily a Blackout player, so I'm going to talk about the updates to Blackout because that's what I primarily play and what a lot of my content revolves around. If you do want me to cover the multiplayer and zombies portions of it, please leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe as well if you haven't already. And we're going to step right into it because it's a really, really big update. So coming into Blackout, they just added ambush mode, which is a limited time game mode where it's strictly snipers, melees, and launchers. No pistols, no ARs, no submachine guns. I don't think there's going to be any clusters or flashes. So it's literally just sniper rifles, melee attacks like the knife, and then rocket launchers. So it's really cool. It brings me back to the days of Halo when they had sniper rifles and shotguns, which is probably my favorite game mode. And one thing that's really cool about ambush mode is the circle constantly advances. So once the circle starts to move or the gas starts closing in, it doesn't stop. You got to continuously go, 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 go. So I think it's going to be a really fun game mode. Me and my team are definitely going to be playing it quite a bit. Kind of stepping back into some of the update tuning. It's one of the probably the most impactful updates that's happened in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 for Blackout since they introduced the armor plating durability rebuild, which we've been asking for since beta. So again, I mean, we're 5 months into the game, right? If you count the beta phase of playable gameplay, and they're still tuning armor. I think this is probably going to be it for the armor tuning. They might buff it again because, I mean, as you can see, this is our level 1's already paper. It's now even more paper. Like level 1's, if you have level 1, it's not worth getting in an engagement still. So you really want to try to find level 2. But basically all the levels went down 40%. Level 1 went from 30% to 15. Level 2 went from 40 to 25. Level 3 went from 50 to 35. Really impactful here, guys. So something to keep aware of. They removed the explosive resistance to Armor 3, which is really good too. And I'll kind of step into that once we start talking about cluster grenades a little bit throughout the update. Removed melee damage reduction to level 3. Increased armor plates required to repair durability. So it takes 2 shards per tick. So all armor has 5 ticks of durability. You've got, basically what that breaks down to is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So each shard repairs 20% of your armor value. It now takes 2 shards for level 3. So level 3, each shard counts as 10% durability repair. Super important. Level 3 was broken, and I have a feeling it's now going to be something that's going to be less frustrating, because the one thing that I've always disliked about Blackout, and what Dr. Disrespect kind of put to a post up to it earlier, about 3 months ago, was tink, 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 tink. Now I'm going to hear less of that, which is going to be great. Concussions, again, something we've been asking for forever. Reduced status effect duration. So concussions usually had about a 3-second, 3.5 second, 4-second duration. It's now only 2. So they did reduce it by 50%. They reduced the area of effect, which I want to say was anywhere between 30 to 40% of area of effect. So it now hits a smaller window. So if you look at it like if you're looking at a bullseye, right? You've got the inner circle, the second circle, and the outer circle. It's now like, instead of the outer circle, it's the inner circle. So they've reduced it quite a bit. Throwing distance, so before where you could throw a concussion, like you could throw a grenade or a cluster, you can now throw it a little lower. So the distance in which a concussion can be thrown is less. I don't know if that's really that impactful, because you usually throw concussions close range anyway, but it's definitely going to throw off what you were used to. If like somebody was, if you're behind a rock and they're a little bit up the hill, right? If you're fighting up on Frack Hill, instead of throwing one way, it's now you're going to have to adjust to that, right? So I think that's going to be a learning curve for a lot of people. So you can now see more through the flash as well with concussions. Super great. One of the things that probably is the most frustrating about concussions is that they're a flash and a concussion. Now it's moving more towards concussion like it is in multiplayer. And then when concussed, you can now throw equipment, continue holding equipment, perform melee attacks, and switch weapons. And then I'm going to step right into the last point there, reduced hipfire spread. So instead of being all discombobulated and going like this, you now have a standard hipfire opportunity available to you, and you can throw a concussion back, throw a cluster back, throw a grenade back, and you can melee. All really important stuff, all stuff we should have been able to do this entire time. Clusters, increased time to detonate. They did increase the time in which a cluster detonates. So before you would throw it, it would hit the ground and then would explode. Kind of in the exact same way I just said it. You'd throw it, hit the ground, explode. Very little time to react. Once a cluster landed right next to you, you knew you were going down. It's pretty much that simple. Now you have an additional 1.5 seconds to react once a cluster hits the ground. Super awesome. Definitely going to want to stick the people going forward. Reduce damage of mini clusters. Mini clusters used to do, I think it was 50 damage per mini grenade, and now it's 25. I might be wrong on that. And maybe they did 25 before, and I think now they do 15. Either way, it's a really big deal. I know the damage was reduced significantly of the mini cluster grenades. I'm pretty sure that it was 50 per little mini cluster, and now it's 25. So that's really good, because usually 2 to 3 of them would hit you, and I know if 2 to 3 would hit you, you would probably die. So players can now end down sights after opening a door. I don't know if anybody's experienced that, but I never really ran into that issue, but it's good to know. Longest shot now is on the after action report, and zombie Ultimus character voiceovers now play as intended. So that's good. I really think this update is probably the most impactful one they've done so far, and I think it's really going to make a lot of good changes to the game. I'm really excited to see what Treyarch does in the future. A lot of people are complaining that Blackout is prioritized in these updates. There's a lot of big reasons for that, right? Blackout's a new game mode, where multiplayer's been around since the inception of Call of Duty, basically, where Blackout's totally new. Treyarch wanted to, and Activision wanted to do tournaments around the game, but because it was so bugged, and it's not where they want it to be on a competitive level, that's why this game mode's being prioritized over MP. And I still even think that's false. Multiplayer sees a lot of updates. It's zombies that's kind of on the back burner. But you got to think about the zombie player base. It is not at the potential of what the Blackout and multiplayer player base is. The zombie community is a really small portion of the game. Yeah, some people are going to hate on me for saying that, but I still think you guys got a killer game mode, and it's better than the zombies that have been in the past. So this is probably by far the best zombie mode that they've ever come out with. And it's only going to get better. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the update. I'm going to jump in a game here. I'm going to start testing out the armor, and I'm going to do an after update review coming into it. So like I said, if you like this video, like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment if you want me to talk about multiplayer and the future patches or zombies and how that affects it. And I'll see you guys on the battlefield. Thanks.